Hello and welcome to this short yoga practice to free your body. So when you're ready, let's grab your mat and then we'll begin. Let's come to a comfortable position seated on your mat. We'll just take a moment here just to allow ourselves to arrive, to let go of anything from our day so that we can allow ourselves to be present and focus for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So using this as an opportunity maybe to send the last text message, the last check of your emails, maybe write that thing on your to-do list, whatever it needs to be, switch off the TV, whatever it needs to be. And then maybe allowing for a little softening of the neck, so maybe dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can always place that right hand on top of your left ear just for that added stretch. And again, now taking your left ear to your left shoulder, left hand, if you wish, can place on top of your head, never pushing, just simply allowing the weight of gravity just to aid the stretch. Let's transition now into our child's pose. Here we're going to stretch our triceps. We're going to bring our elbows to the mat and our hands together in a prayer position, fingers reaching to the ceiling. And our bottom draws down towards our heel. So this is a wonderful tricep stretch. If it's feeling a little intense, just consciously softening as you exhale that area where you feel the tension. Nice big slow deep breaths in. Consciously choosing to soften your body as you inhale and as you exhale. Feeling safe and rested and secure in this position. Let's release those hands now, and we're going to send our right hand into our half bind, bringing our right hand down towards our pant line, and our left hand is going to reach across the mat towards the top right hand corner. So a side stretch whilst in our child's pose position. So we're stretching down the left side of our torso, whilst also opening up the front side of our shoulder. So a side bend in our child's pose. Just hold it here for one more breath. And then let's roll the body up, coming up into a kneeling position. We're reaching those arms, both arms up above, reaching through those fingers. Exhale, hands down onto your pant line. Keeping the right hand where it is, just reach that left hand up towards the ceiling. So a very simple cow pose. We want to lift up through that chest. And then exhale, we're going to sink down back onto our heels. We're going to take our thread the needle position. So we're going to thread our left arm under our right arm. And your right arm can come up above the sky, or it can reach towards the top of the mat. So our legs and our hips are aligned, and we're dropping down onto the left side of our shoulder. So we're stretching the outside of that left shoulder and finding a comfortable position for that right arm, whether it's up in the sky or reaching out in front of you. Adjusting it for where you feel the stretch best within that left side of your shoulder. Just holding it here for a minute. Let's walk that right hand back down. Use it to push your weight and your torso back up. Let's reach back up into that kneeling position, reaching those hands up towards the ceiling. And let's sit back down into our child's pose. This time taking the right arm across to the left side of the mat and bringing that left hand into our half bind, just resting it on the top of the pant line. So we're stretching the front of that left shoulder. Now we're stretching the right side of our torso. Maybe feeling it in the right armpit as well. So reaching across the mat, a side stretch in our child's position. Let's walk our hand back in, coming back into a kneeling position, reaching those arms right up to the ceiling. And now our left hand is going to come to our lower back. Keep reaching through that right arm. Simple camel position here. Kneeling back down. Left hand for support, drawing that right arm through in our thread the needle position. So hips and bums are aligned, and that left arm can be up in the sky or reaching forwards to the top of your mat. This might be a slightly deeper stretch in this position. So here we're stretching the right shoulder, the outside of the right shoulder, and your head can be forehead to the mat, or maybe you turn to the right side of your face, Or for a really deep stretch, you can turn to the left side of the face connected to the mat. So lots of ways to tweak and adjust depending on where and how you feel the stretch in your body. Let's reach both arms up to the ceiling as we come to a kneeling position, and then arms out wide. Coming into an all fours, let's drop the belly, lift the chin, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's take a push back into our downward dog, lifting those knees, engaging the core, pushing up and back into downward dog. Coming back down now onto your knees, dropping the belly, lifting the chin. So a variation of our cat and cow, chin to chest, pushing up and back into your downward dog. Warming up those hamstrings, feel free to walk your feet out on the spot. Rolling the body weight forward, dropping down to your knees, dropping the belly, lifting the chin. And as we bring our chin to our chest, pushing up and back into our downward dog. Adjusting this pose, adding in any additional stretching or movement through those legs. And then we're going to take a side twist, so pivoting on the balls of your feet. Your heels drop to the left, knees to the right. And we'll take it to the other side, pivoting on the balls of your feet. Knees point to the left, heels point to the right. If you wish, otherwise you can stay in your downward dog. Let's roll the body weight forward into a plank position or dropping down onto your knees, engaging the lower abdominals when we're in our plank, building that core strength. And then we're going to lower down onto our knees, our chest and our chin. So there are our touch points. Sliding the belly down onto the floor, coming up into our Sphinx pose, elbows under shoulders, pushing up and out of those shoulders. Let's take a look to the right and then a look across to the left. So drawing our gaze across those shoulders. Let's bring our left forearm across the mat and draw our right heel in towards our right bottom, and using that right hand just on the tops of the foot or the toes for an added quad stretch. Let's release that hand, switching arms, right forearm crosses the mat and the left heel and left buttock maybe connect or thereabouts, and that left fingers and toes leveraging the stretch in the left quad. Release the foot, release the hands, replacing the hands under our shoulders, pushing up and back into our child's pose just for a moment, feeling a nice stretch through the upper body, rolling the body weight forward into an all fours, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, and then pushing up and back into your downward dog. Holding it here. If you wish, you can sweep that the right leg up towards the sky, maybe bending at the knee and drawing circles with that knee in a clockwise position just for a couple of times. And then if not, all of us will meet in our low lunge, drawing that right leg forwards in between our hands. Low lunge, back leg, our left leg's grounded on the floor, reaching those arms up through the ceiling, extending through those fingers. Hands can always come to prayer position at the center of your heart. Stretching through that left hip flexor. Holding it here just for a moment longer before planting our hands back down on the mat, lifting the back leg, stepping the right leg back, coming back into your downward dog. Inviting in any organic movement that you need, rolling the body weight forward either into plank or an all fours position, lowering down onto your knees, your chest and your chin. Rolling that body weight forwards, coming back into your Sphinx position, elbows under shoulders, lifting up and out of the shoulders, gaze forwards. Hands return under shoulders, roll that body weight back into your child's pose. Holding it here just for a moment. Let's ripple the body weight forwards, hands back under your shoulders, drop the belly, lift the chin. Chin to chest, scoop in your knees and back into your downward dog. This time sweeping that left leg up to the ceiling, bending the knee if you wish, and drawing those circles with that left knee a couple of times in one direction. It doesn't matter how big that circle is with your knee, just opening up the hip here, softening the muscles around that joint. Let's all bring that left leg forwards now, into our left low lunge, left leg in between the hands at the front, dropping that right knee to the mat, reaching those arms up towards the ceiling, finding that length in your side body and through your spine. Hands can always come to heart center if you wish, reaching up through the crown of your head. Beautiful stretch for the right hip flexor here, that right front of your body. Holding it just for a moment longer. Let's bring those hands back to the mat, lift the back leg, and then send that left leg back to meet your right leg, holding a plank just for a moment, engaging those lower abdominals, dropping the knees if you wish before we lower down onto our knees, our chest and our chin, down onto our belly, arms come back under our shoulders into our Sphinx pose. Rising up out of those shoulders, keep drawing those shoulder blades back and down. Holding it here just for a moment longer. And then hands back under the shoulders, pushing up and back into your child's pose. Forehead connecting to the mat, reaching through those fingers. Let's ripple the body weight forwards back into your cow pose, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, wrists under shoulders. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, push back and back into your downward dog. Holding it here in downward dog just for a moment, a couple more breaths. Look towards your hands at the front, and as you exhale, walk your feet towards your hands into your forward fold. Bowing your head towards your knees. Maybe keeping those knees bent if you need to, folding from those hips, not rounding through the lower spine. And we can just dangle here, so you can bring your hands to opposite elbows and gently sway left to right, alternating, bending through each leg. Just keeping those hamstrings nice and supple. Let's come to stillness, drawing those hands up towards your thighs, flat back, 90-degree bend between your torso and your legs. Before hands are placed to the mat, and just come up onto the balls of your feet as you sink your body weight down, and then come to seated on your mat. Let's extend those legs out long, coming into our seated forward fold in a moment. So we're going to remove the flesh from underneath our bottom. Just staring for a moment at your toes in our Dandasana pose or staff pose, hands down by our side. Let's bend that left leg and that right leg into our butterfly position. So the soles of the feet come together, knees out wide, drawing the soles in towards your groin. Find that length in your spine and your side body as you exhale, fold forwards from your hips, bowing your head. It doesn't matter how far down our torso is. We want to fold from our hips rather than rounding through our spine. This way we'll stretch the inner groin, the thighs. Just holding it here just for a moment longer. And then let's begin to rise the torso up, finding a comfortable seated position on your mat, whether cross-legged or legs extended. Finding that length through the spine and through the side body, reaching up through the crown of the head. And maybe taking some neck movements left and right, looking over each shoulder, or drawing a beautiful semicircle from one shoulder to the other. Just freeing up our shoulders and our neck before we come to a seated position. You allow maybe bow your chin towards your chest, finding a comfortable position for those hands, that length in your side body and your back, rolling those shoulders back and down, lifting up through the crown of your head. But still supple, we're not holding too much tension here as we sit. We're not rigid, we're not statues, there's still a suppleness in our form. And just simply sitting and breathing for the final minute, just to close the practice, to connect to the breath, feeling that sensation of the breath within your body. Maybe noticing the rise and the fall of the belly, maybe feeling the rise and the fall of the chest, maybe listening to the sound of the breath as you inhale and exhale, maybe noticing the rhythm and the pace. Just staying true with that breath. I know you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like, or if you wish, you can begin to raise your arms out wide, reaching your arms up above. Just keep extending through those fingers. Exhale, hands come back down your side. And may you have a beautiful day.